What's going on, boys? Thanks to our patrons and Fiverr customers, subscribe to our Patreon free for behind the scenes stuff. Arm yourselves, life stuff. We'll start with a weird experience and then get into some thinking about what we're doing here thinking. A few nights ago, I woke up and I felt something in my face, and I opened my eyes and I saw a shadowy looking thing over me, or a presence, an area of darkness. So I punched at it and I sat up, and for the next hour, I was in wide awake, supernatural, scared mode with the weird senses. Normally, even if I'm not thinking about anything, I spend most of my time looking through my mind's eye in the consciousness cloud. There's usually a normality or familiarity mist between my thinking and the world I'm living in, even if I'm not thinking about anything. However, this time I was barred from entering the consciousness cloud, and I was forced to exist just with my senses, except those senses were acting wacky. Not only are they more alert because I have to engage with them, but also they are tingling. They're picking up that supernatural shit. And I felt this thing just hanging around. It felt familiar, like somebody I know or I'm supposed to know, and I didn't feel like it wanted to hurt me, but it felt agitated with me, or agitated at something, and it was unnerving me. We talked a few videos ago about the differences between human demons and space demons, alien demons. This definitely felt like a human demon, but it was trying to come off like an alien demon. So I get really freaked out. I grab the elite, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do because I feel this presence near me. I feel it trying to communicate with me through my senses, similar to the way this felt when I encountered Venus for the first time. Like something is existing within the space around you. Except this didn't feel anywhere near as. I mean, it was spooky, but it didn't feel anywhere near as potent, and loving was not the feeling it was trying to communicate, although familiarity came through. And I'm hearing weird noises outside. Again, it's like all the senses, they're behaving abnormally and you're receiving abnormal information. I kept hearing things outside that I was pretty sure weren't there. And unlike other weird supernatural encounters like this that happen sometimes, this one lasted a long while. And as this is going on, I'm getting the sense I'm supposed to listen to this thing directly, whatever it's trying to tell me, but I'm not supposed to communicate to it directly. I need to go through my God as a middleman to deal with whatever this thing is, even though it was just giving off weird energy. And usually when experiences like these happen, there's a reason. Something is going on. And the first thing I thought of was either someone's been hurt terribly or somebody's died. But if that's the case, then why is this so scary and why is this lasting so long? So after it was all over, I asked around the next day, and it turned out somebody had died, but it was someone I didn't know attached to somebody I barely know. So I was thinking, that's weird, but that's probably what it was. I'm not sure why I would get that feeling from that death. That's something I'm going to have to think about. But then, I think it was yesterday, I found out I'm pretty sure what it actually was. That day, and I'm guessing that night too, there was a murderer wandering around and acting weird. According to what I heard, it wasn't like he'd murdered somebody in our area. He had just been released and was wandering and was acting weird and then was picked up. But I'm willing to bet that's what that feeling was. That was a warning, and the reason this thing was trying to spook me so much was specifically so I would stay on high alert and have my gun in my hand until whatever might happen has passed. So I don't know who or what that spirit was, but I'm thinking about why it needed to happen that way. Why didn't it, however it would, communicate to me that something dangerous is afoot and you need to protect yourself? Why not transmit that message instead of scaring me into being alert and protecting myself? And this isn't to complain about the way things went down. I'm wondering about it. Why wake me up and put me into alert mode that way? Why act like a monster instead of alerting me to the presence of an actual monster? Maybe because I wouldn't be adequately afraid that way? And raw fear is an important survival emotion, and maybe that was the best way to get me into raw fear mode. I don't know if I would be as afraid if you just receive a signal that says there's something dangerous in your area. Maybe that's something you brush off. Maybe by showing up in demon mode, that's a better way to scare the shit out of somebody and make them grab their gun and be on alert right now. I don't know. And then, if this thing is here to help me, then why the weird communication method? Why do I feel like it's okay to listen to this thing directly, but not speak to it directly? I'm not sure, but it's weird the way these things play out. And it makes me wonder about the other moments like these I've had. You have those alien demon moments that are strictly horrifying, but then you have a moment like this and you think back to the past, other moments you've encountered things that might have been human demons. Were you in danger when you were visited those times? I don't know. Back then, I didn't have the sense to investigate whatever was going on. I would just brush it off and try not to think about it. And then, of course, there is the wondering about if this was physiological, which after immediately after it happened, that's what I was wondering about. Am I having an episode of some kind? I feel a lot better now that it was confirmed that something was going on, but I'm very nervous about physiological phenomena like this. I made a note about it, but it's been something I've been thinking about because I didn't notice it the other day, or just notice it the other day. This is something I've been thinking about. I don't really remember what my hometown looks like. I went through my phone to look for old pictures, and I found people I went to high school with I didn't remember existed. And maybe you forget some people, sure, whatever, but not remembering the way your hometown looks. I mean, when I sit and think hard about it, I can remember places in my hometown, and I can develop something of a mental map, but it's not a clear mental map, and I know it would be wrong if I went back and looked over my hometown. It's just weird. And I think I would like either for my body to operate exactly the way it's supposed to operate, i.e., normalized body chemistry, so normal moods, nothing really malfunctioning, at the cost of no paranormal or supernatural, what's the word for cell walls when or the property by which some things can pass through and other things can't. Less of that and just a normal, decent, pleasant existence. Or it's permeability. Make my shit hyper permeable and let's go all in on the weirdness. Turn me into somebody glowing individuals would enjoy hiring or would see value in hiring. But this is a good segue into more thinking about what this reality might be. A while ago, I read something interesting on some gray Sasquatch investigations forums. Forums which were dying and are basically on their deathbed now, by the way. Gotta come up with something new. A question asked in response to some other questions. Why are you asking the question? And that was actually very useful. Got the noggin jogging. Really made me think. Maybe every question we are able to ask is designed to distract us. Or maybe the idea of asking a question at all is designed to distract us. Every question a person can ask, and every system of belief attempting to answer any of those questions is nothing but a set of keys or alphabet blocks being jingled in front of you or stacked in front of you to occupy you. Maybe our planet, or it's not just our planet that's a prison, but it's these bio cages our souls exist within. Maybe our species is a biological net woven via evolution across millions of years, designed to catch or to house souls. And we're here in conscious bodies. I don't remember where it was or where I read it, but something about humans' minds and consciousness type activities really kicking up 400,000 years ago after something of a very slow rise straight to a cliff of consciousness activity. The nets come online, and souls are now inhabiting these cages, maybe reincarnating, maybe not, but housed nonetheless, occupied with problems suited to the bio cage, but engaged by the soul to keep the soul where it is. Or, in other words, human bodies are just biological vessels. Souls are like speed electricity. And as long as the soul stays occupied in a body, which it will, because when animated with a soul, the body becomes fascinated with the idea of solving problems that cannot be solved, at least from within this cage, and are designed not to be solved, but are designed to be occupying so that souls stay where they are, stay in this prison, until whoever is calling the shots figures out where we're supposed to go on an individual level, or what needs to happen with us as a prison population. And that would make sense with how people treat one another and the ways you feel within your own body sometimes. We treat each other like violent criminals because we are violent criminals. This is a prison, we're supposed to be here. And we feel the way we feel because who likes being in prison, who wants to be in a cage when there is there are entire spheres of experience beyond the prison walls, and you're confined just to these. And these sensations get so much worse. I don't feel much common humanity with people. Recently, I've been feeling like someone who went into or got stuck in the wrong class. And I recognize that I'm not supposed to be here, but I can't just walk out, and I don't know whom I'm supposed to talk to about getting the fuck out of here, but I'm not, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to be here. But how you feel doesn't really matter, because you probably are supposed to be here, and even if you aren't supposed to be here, this is where you are now. So maybe we're like Joy-Tan shards of higher beings broken up across multiple different little cages to keep the beast from reconstituting, or multiple beasts from reconstituting. Maybe that's why there are so many different ideas of faiths. They aren't faiths, they are connective tissues of greater souls trying to pull back together and become one so we can get the fuck out of this prison. Or maybe we are higher souls as individuals, but condemned to live together within these little, limited, distracted bio cages. But it's a difficult conundrum trying to figure out what's going on, because your form is designed to be distracted, and this world, everything you see, everything you think, the medium of language that constructs your thinking is designed to distract you. You don't really have an option. Yet, on some level, something is not fitting. Something beyond language. Something beyond sense. Something beyond reason. And it's an awareness something is wrong. Even though everything is supposed to fit, and things do fit, quotes, they don't really fit. Nothing answers or explains this basic wrong feeling. And that's where that question comes into play. Why are you asking the question? Or what makes you ask the question? You're a fish caught in a net, separated from a stream, maybe put in a tank, but will be collected and slaughtered by the Reaper once they decide what to do with you. Looking at it this way, you really have only one option. And that option is horrifying because no matter your faith, or even if you're an atheist, I think there's an instinctive feel or difference, felt difference, between a natural death and an unnatural death. Everything is screaming at you not to eat a bullet. The world you live in and the cage cruiser you pilot. Everything says you shouldn't do this. Yet, all these signals coming from all these levels come from a world and an existence, a body. Something inside you is saying there's something wrong with. So if there's something basically wrong with all this, and this is one of the only messages in your existence that you'll get a clear and emphatic no about, then that raises suspicion. Why? Especially knowing that you can't avoid death. Why are people so... or why is there such an aversion to dying early when you're dying no matter what? Why this stark aversion? Is it because, for whatever reason, your prison is not as well secured as the weavers of your prison would like you to believe it to be? Can you just escape the net or walk out of the net and go back into the stream with all the other happy fish? What prison is staffed by guards who would tell the prisoners they are free to walk out, or encourage them to do so, if they could? If you could brainwash prisoners down to the most basic fibers of their being not to leave, then one, why wouldn't you? And two, if it's proven to work, why waste resources on securing anything? In that situation, all that stands between you and your freedom from this prison you hate is your brainwashing. Now, I don't believe that's the case. I'll never do anything stupid, and I don't recommend you do anything stupid. I don't condone your doing anything stupid. But it is something to think about. Why does something always feel wrong? Why do you feel you need to ask a question? And I enjoy investigating different states of mind, especially when I can feel like I really feel them. This state of mind was liberating. This place is a joke. You people are jokes. Our wardens are jokes, and they're stupid. Why wouldn't you secure the prison better? Why would you be so arrogant as to rely only on brainwashing? I mean, do you understand how easy it would be for a prisoner just to walk out of this mess? So arrogant. So stupid. But, of course, so effective, because I'm not going to do shit. But thinking about it this way, it felt like I had a plane ticket to every other realm of higher and lower existence in one hand, and a lottery ticket with enough money to fund whatever life I want to lead, infinite lives, in the other. I can walk out right now and move on to objectively better things. The only issue, of course, being within this prison, within your body, within your culture, within this brainwashing, within this prison, your brainwashing is so deep, you have no way to answer this more basic question or to address this fundamental wrongness with any assurances or guarantees or even hints. Aside from the fact you can feel something is wrong, basically, here. You're taking an ultimate leap of faith based on a feeling you are designed. One, you're not even supposed to feel this feeling. And two, certainly you are not supposed to address it. Everything, everyone on every level will discourage you from going that route, including the bio prison containing your soul at the moment. And the reason I'm talking about all this stuff, or thinking through it as an exercise, is that basic wrongness feeling is getting stronger. Especially with this latest supernatural encounter. Is this, or in my case, is this my soul wife trying to keep me alive here until she can figure out how to break me out of this shithole? It feels like you have been taken and brainwashed and stuck in such a little, limited, humiliating form your soul is not supposed to be inhabiting, while so much more is going on outside. Like you're an ant in an ant farm while human level shit is going on all around you, and you're becoming increasingly able to perceive, if not to understand, and you're supposed to be among whatever that is, but you have been trapped here by a malicious something or other. I'm really beginning to feel like we aren't supposed to be here, and hopefully, if we can't adjust to life inside to get properly institutionalized like Mrs. Puff, hopefully that veil will lift even higher and we can perceive more and do more and maybe, just maybe, figure out how to get out of here. I am sick of being trapped in this prison. Human flesh is the ultimate humiliation. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't.